matter how good something is, you have to equally dig deep to know what could be some of the disadvantages of those things. So buying a house equally has disadvantages just like it do have advantages. So in today's video, we will be focusing on the disadvantages of actually getting yourself a home. So the first disadvantage you're actually going to have or might have could be upfront cost, right? A lot of people going into buying a house without having all the cash. So a lot of people actually end up going to lenders, banks, credit unions to borrow these monies to actually buy themselves a home. And moreover, regardless of you borrowing that money, you still have to come up with money, right? Still have to come up with some cash to actually pay for these things. Pay for closing costs, down payment, and other expenditures that you're still going to incur but before you end up getting that house. So of course, the number one is going to be upfront costs, and purchasing a home requires substantial upfront cash or investment, which could be more costly to some people depending on how much you have saved to go through this process. So that's the first thing you should know, that of course you have to have some cash in hand while you're actually going through the process of buying a house, and it's going to cost you, okay? So the second is going to be maintenance and repair. Some people might never want to buy a house just because they don't want to deal with maintenance and repairs of those houses, because everything boils down to you. Everything lies directly, every responsibility is on you. It's not like when we're actually renting and then the landlords actually have to do the maintenance and all those things, or the property managers have to deal with all maintenance or most maintenance in that apartment or the house, right? So when you're buying the house, just keep in mind that everything, maintenance, repairs, it's on you. Whether you have to hire somebody to do it and pay them, or you have to buy those things and do the repairs by yourself, it still has to take money. Because of course, if you hire somebody, you still have to give the money to buy whatever is needed to do the repairs. And if you choose not to and decide I want to do it by my own or by myself, then you have to still buy that whatever it is to do the repairs. So keep in mind, and even if you don't have to buy, you still have to pay for it one way or the other by your time, because guess what, time is money. Number three is going to be lack of flexibility. Lack of flexibility, especially for those who like moving from one place to another, maybe one state to another, or you don't just like staying in a neighborhood for the longest time period, right? Well, when you buy a home in a particular neighborhood, of course, you actually have to stay there for some time, right? Even if you end up wanting to sell the house, at least, depending on some of the loan types, you have to actually stay in that house for some years before you can maybe sell it or put it on rentage and go get another house. So it's inconvenient for those who like moving and changing states and cities and all those things. But if you know you don't worry about moving the next month or the next year or 2 years or 3 years, then that's something good for you, okay? So you won't have to worry about those things. But if you don't like sitting on one position, well, then you might have to reconsider it, because of course there will be no flexibility, because you still have to stay there for some time. So number 4 is going to be market risk. The market risk I am talking about here is the real estate market could fluctuate, and there is no guarantee that home value will appreciate significantly over time. I mentioned on my previous video about the 2008 market crash, right? So if something like that happens, do you think the house values are going to go up? No. the house values are not going to go up, because it only goes up if the market is okay. So if there is something wrong with the market, of course you're not going to have your properties appreciate. So just keep that in mind. But if you have a property that you're just going to leave there and not worry about selling it to the next person, then you really don't have to worry so much about that market price, because of course you don't even intend to sell it. So number 5 is going to be less liquidity. So compared to other investments, real estate can be less liquidity, meaning it could take time for you to sell that property. It's not like stocks or other investment, maybe crypto or all these other things, right? That you can sell, you can purchase, the market goes up in 2 days, in a week, or in a month, and you sell and just get your money back. No. Sometimes getting a buyer to sell a house takes time. It takes months. Okay? So it takes a little while for you to actually sell your home, because first you have to prep. When you have the thought of, I want to sell my house, you first of all have to prep, then you put this thing in the market. We never know how long it's going to take for you to sell your house. Some people could take a few months, some people could take longer, and even when it is being bid upon, you still have some days to actually sell or close on that house. So it takes some time. Okay, so it's not like a real quick investment like maybe your stocks, your Bitcoin, your crypto, that you actually can just sell. Wake up today and sell the next day. Buy today and sell tomorrow and make quick cash. Number 6, property taxes and insurance. Property taxes and home owners insurance can add the ongoing expenses. Very true. Yes, because you never know what is going to happen the next year. Whenever they are giving you property taxes, I don't think property taxes are stable or standard. It depends on how much your house is appreciating. So if you bought your house for a lesser price, and then the next year, the price or the value is increasing, they are not going to give you taxes on the original price you bought the house. Of course not. They're going to give you prices on what your house is, or the price or the value of that house at that time. So it's going to actually increase your payments, right? Even if it doesn't increase your payment, let's say you already bought your house cash and you're not owing the bank. But of course, the house is increasing in value and your property taxes are also increasing. So that means more money is being paid on property taxes and insurance because the house value is increasing. So think about that when you're buying a house, because that you can't run away from. There's no magic except you live in a state that doesn't pay property taxes. But if you do live in a state that actually requires you to pay your property taxes, well, there is no two options to it. You have to pay. Okay? And the last thing is going to be foreclosure. Foreclosure could come from not paying taxes, not being able to make your monthly payments for your mortgage, right? So there are risks, and this the lender, it leads to loss of property. So if your house ever gets foreclosed on, you're not gonna get that property back. Okay, and we're not even sure you're going to have any money from it, because we don't know how much it's gonna sell for, because you are not the one selling for. We most definitely have to go through an auction, and we don't know how much. There's no guarantee that they're going to sell it for how much you actually paid for it, or over how much you paid for it. So they're going to get their money and then you're going to get the balance. So there's no guarantee on this one. So if you're going for a house, we never pray that when you get your house, you lose your income or all those things. but life happens, okay? And this could just be something that happens to people, especially when the market or the economy is not the best. A lot of people lose their jobs, a lot of people have a reduction in income, or even if you have the same income, you have more expenditures, right? Like right now, gas prices are soaring, food prices are so high. So imagine if the time you bought that house, those things were not a problem because you could afford your gas and your food. And now you have to drive to work every day. Whatever amount you were putting previously for your gas is not the same amount you're using for your gas today. So those things creep into your income, and by the time you know it, whatever you were paying for your mortgage is not enough at that moment. So what happens if you can't afford those payments, or you have to rationalize your income for other things? Apart from mortgage, you have to pay for light, you have to pay for water bill, you have to pay for trash, insurance, and all other things, right? So those things could quite slowly creep into your income and cause you not to pay those things. But like I said, these are just some of the disadvantages you could have when buying a home. So you have the choice to make the decision to make if you want to actually buy a house, or you never want to, if you just want to keep renting or not. Keep in mind, all these things or some of these disadvantages equally affect you even if you're renting a house, okay? Even if there's no foreclosure in the house, maybe you could get eviction just because you're unable to pay for your rent. So you make those choices by yourself. Just have to sit down, read through it, do your research, and choose which one you want to do. Okay, so look at the advantages of all these things and then make your choices, right? And remember, my videos are for educational purpose only. Make sure you do your research and ask questions to the adequate people or professionals that you have around you, and they will give you better answers. All right, so thank you for watching to the end of this video, and do not forget to share, like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your notification bell. Leave comments if you want me to talk on a particular topic I haven't covered, and I will make sure to cover it. As always, stay safe, and if you want to know more about my book Home Buyer's Guide, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description. But stay safe and healthy until next time. Thank you.